I want to share with you all, whoever is listening, some really important things that I think that everyone on this planet should be more conscious and aware of. And I've been given signs that it's progressively getting to that. Eventually, we might not be alive on the planet, but eventually one day it will be this way. So I'm going to just start with my own personal experience. I won't go too deep into it because I only want to speak from my perspective and keep everyone else's privacy protected. So my Pluto, I had an experience that it came out of nowhere, Uranus, and the energy that was involved with another was interesting. There was a lot of psychic activity involved in it, but more so a resonance. There was a force, almost as if it's like a spell of some sort. Not saying that someone put a spell on me. It's meant to there's an exchange that's meant to happen for the purpose of awakening or remembering and evolving. So let's see, where we go. The person that I encountered, there was connection, and I didn't realize until after connecting with this person that there were so many archetypes within this person that were showing me things that I needed to see in me, ways that I was not speaking my full truth or whatever. But I want to actually go into the mirrors, because this is where it's important for us all to understand our mirror to others. And there are 7 different mirrored archetypes that we carry, and each person has a dominant mirror, meaning it's this is part of your dominant energy that you emit unknowingly. You're not aware of it. I was met with a lot of my own personal fears and traumas, and yeah, there were a bunch of mirrors. So what I want to say is, for example, for somebody who carries an archetypal mirror, I don't even know if it's archetypal, but a mirror resonance that triggers that which is feared in another, but the person that carries that is not aware of that. Imagine how difficult it would be to form relationships with people from childhood on up. That's just more of an extreme example, but it also explains a lot of our life experiences. So the more that we're aware of our mirrors, that which are so unconscious and subconscious for most of us, unless you start reading into each other as a mirror, which is okay. Well, let's see if we can take this a different way, because these are life's patterns of behaviors that we see through the mirror. So I'm going to just go over the 7 Essene mirrors of relationships and what they reflect to us. And depending on, so when we get caught up in an energy of another, it's an energy, it's a lesson that we're meant to learn from that person. And that person is reflecting to us in the mirror 7 different things, 1 of 7 or all 7, depending on how much interaction you have with them. So the first mirror is, they reflect to you who you are in the moment. So if you're very engaged and conscious, and then there's a good engagement. But if your mind's somewhere else, then the other person's going to reflect that somehow. So who you are in the moment. The second mirror, I get this a lot too, because I feel like I'm one of those mirrors. Which you judge in the moment. So imagine that talk about transparency, right? You know, we all have our own forms of judgment, the way we're perceiving our experiences and people, yet it gets reflected right back to us, almost confirming the judgment, right? So how hard is that to overcome and understand? The third one is reflects to us what you've lost throughout this lifetime, what was taken from you, or what was given away. And I know that I have that mirror that reflects on other people, and it makes it. I understand people's behavior throughout life, where some would be really clingy to it because I reflect something that they lost or was taken away, and others are like angry at me and they don't even know me, kind of thing. But that would be why, and that's just one. I'm sure I have others. I'm learning as I go through life too. I'm like, oh, I see what I put out there. So we can control to a degree when we're aware. Or at least have the compassion. Let's just say that, have compassion, understanding for other people's reactions towards us, and our reactions towards others. So, okay, the fourth mirror. Oh, I'm having pain in my abdomen right now. Most forgotten love. This is like divine, our divine heart, our heart that we forgot while we went through the density of life. So that's actually a beautiful mirror. The fifth mirror is mother and father, how the mother and father were experienced, how you experienced your mother and father. We have those archetypes as well, and I do believe I hold or mirrors, let's say, I definitely hold a mother mirror or archetype. Didn't know it. Good thing I am a mother, I guess. So yeah, that's another good one to reflect on, especially wounds, mother-father wounds. Those are probably some of the biggest triggers that we humans give each other without being conscious or aware of it. And I'm giving this video now because the consciousness, we're in a stream of energy that is really elevating, expanding the human consciousness right now to actually maybe be able to not understand, but resonate with these mirrors that I'm giving you. These are not my words. This is ancient knowledge. So it goes back thousands and thousands of years. The sixth mirror. The dark night of the soul. Dark night of the soul is we really tap into our darkest, deepest, darkest spots of ourselves. It's a battle between the soul self and the ego self. And it can go on and drag on for some people for many years. Other people who are conscious and aware of it can work through the shadow. It's still not fun, but definitely there are mirrors to trigger the dark night of the soul in people. I kind of feel like I might have that archetype too from my life experiences, which is probably why I am so fascinated in understanding these things, these ancient wisdom that seems so relevant to right now, to always, and it makes a lot of, it redirects your past, your history. You're like, oh, I have this, or, you know, you can figure out how people are, or what they're mirroring to you. This is the universe talking to us. Most people do not know how they are, we don't know exactly how we are affecting each other. And this is really important to understand these things so that we don't have the miscommunications and misunderstandings. And we're trying to get out of all of these patriarchal ways of relating and be more free but connected. So understanding these mirrors is so important to be able to fully connect with each other. So the last mirror, the seventh mirror, is your self-perception, what you think, how you see yourself. That certain people hold that to us, and that's depending on how you feel and think about yourself. It can be good or bad. It's everyone's experience is unique to themselves. But I wanted to point out that it's also, for me, these understandings make it much easier for me to, when triggered into a deep wound or some deep seated fears, sure, the emotions are going to come out. That's what it's meant to do. The reactions, we have a little bit of control over that, some of us more than others. But once that whole, you know, once the, let's call it supernova, once it ignites, you have this experience. It's very visceral, it's very emotional. And at this point in time, a lot of us may not even be fully aware of why we're so triggered. This is why, because we are being mirrored cosmically by Pluto. I'm going to give more in-depth understanding. I'm going to reread Jeffrey Wolf Green's Pluto book. Actually, I want to get volume 2 because it dives deeper into the human psyche when it comes to these things. So I hope I didn't go too far. I'm trying to keep things. I'm self-conscious, so I'm trying to keep things at a wavelength that is relatable for many. I know not everybody will understand me, but for those of us on the journey of self-discovery, self-understanding, and just expanding our consciousness here on Earth, and always being able to bounce back. So I wanted to bring it back to my experience of having fear triggered and anger triggered in me that was very deep seated. It was ancestral. I felt it. I knew it. It affected my physical body. I got sick. I got really sick, and that's my past experiences too. This was very, it was right in alignment with the moon, with the planet, with my birth chart. I didn't see it coming because I'm set up just like everybody else. I'm not paying attention to my chart right when these transits are happening. And I'm not going to do that. I'm going to live my life. I'm going to live through whatever the universe is sending my way to catalyze me into being the best version of myself that I can be. And that's, so it's a gift, truly. But I also, once I felt my feelings and experienced my experience and got through the anger and the pain and the fear, I was brought to like a centered place, which is where you weigh it out. Where are you going to go with this? You can choose fear or you can choose love. Where's what filter are you looking at this under? Are you looking at this under what you experienced right now? Or are you looking at this from the mirror and from what Pluto is showing you, what you don't want? So it's important that we really get in touch deeply with ourselves in this energy. Especially as Pluto is very, very soon moving back into Capricorn. Yeah, I was really guided to share the mirrors. right now because I feel like it's important. And I think some more of my work that I will be doing is digging deeper into our archetypal patterns and mirroring. And I feel like there's a correlation there. I'm putting together my the mirrors that affect me the most within the last couple of years comes from an area, an Aries energy, and my Chiron is in Aries. Chiron is in Aries, and it all fits together. So there's definitely, it's all tied together. There's different maps and different ways to look at it. So I'm giving you another way of looking at things, which is ancient knowledge, the 7 Essene mirrors. And it takes a bit. It takes practice, and it takes a bit to really let it all sink in. That our life experience is not exactly how our brain is perceiving it. There are so much more bigger, expansive energies just trying to crack us open and evolve us as human beings. And this is definitely something that I feel personally would help a lot of people if you're at a place where you're able to really, and I'm not forcing it down anybody's throat, this is just my opinion. I feel like this is important for us all to understand deeply. We can learn things. We've had other things that we've been taught and like shoved down our throats, basically. That's nonsense. It doesn't even help us on this part of the journey. But we can unlearn those things and learn new ways of being able to relate to each other much better, and bringing awareness to our patterns and behavior, as well as awareness to what the cosmos, how the cosmos is speaking to us as far as our healing and our self-understanding and our journey. Because this is that hero's journey. And it can be very mystical at times, and it can be really confusing for people at times. But if you get these 7 Essene mirrors down, your journey is going to be completely different for you, and you'll be able to really transmute a lot of energies and change them from a negative to a neutral or positive, because it allows for forgiveness. It's that saying, Jesus saying, forgive them for they know not what they do. That is the mirror. I trigger something in you. I don't know it. I'm not intentionally trying to hurt or upset anybody. We just have these, it's energetic. It's also, it's written in our birth charts. But when we're aware of ourselves, and we're also aware of what's being reflected to us, that just helps us evolve and elevate our consciousness more and more and more. And then we get to that point. What are you going to choose, fear or love? I choose love, because fear feels like shit. Fear will cripple you. Fear will paralyze you and cause damage. And I've lived that route now. So I'm going with love. Love feels good. Love feels right. It feels like home. That's where I will stay. But we get knocked off and we're like, oh, fear, fear. You know, that's the human experience too. But again, awareness, it helps with forgiveness. Not forgiving the behavior that may have been, projected onto you. Now that's a little different, where we experience these projections from others that are also meant to be a mirror. Okay, so deep. But I just wanted to put this out there because I feel like I'm not the only one having this experience of like having these weird encounters with people, weird to our average energy, where like another energy comes in and it's like, boom, you're going to come this way for a moment. We have something for you. A lot of that's happening lately. So I think I just want to put that out there and send you guys all so much love. I'll be back to do the tarot. I feel like I'm feeling better already, so I might complete the rest of the zodiac today. So much love to you all. Bye.